Hello guys, welcome to another video. If you're watching this, I'm assuming you're 1200 yourself. And yeah, being 1200 sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, I've been 1200 myself, so of course we've all been there. And yeah, it does suck. You don't know when to trade the pieces. You don't know any openings. You don't know how to make proper pawn structures. You just move the pieces, hoping for the best, praying to God, hoping that your opponent makes a mistake or something. So in this video I'm going to be covering a few mistakes that 1200s make, which if you correct them, if you rectify them, I feel like you can go to 1500 super quick, because I did actually. So I feel like these tips are some of the fundamentals that you need to know if you want to progress in chess real quick. So yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's just get started right away. I'm going to be going through 3 or 4 mistakes, and yeah, I'm going to be even showing you games with 1500s who did these mistakes, which I think is very silly. So that's just like a fun bit where to show that this happens to every one of us, happens to the best of us. And so yeah, let's get started right away. Mistake number 1 is not knowing when to trade pieces. This happens with 1400s as well. And it's kind of frustrating because 1200s, they just don't think. You put a piece right in front of them, they just take it. They don't even hesitate. They just take it. They don't think anything. Forget thinking ahead. They see what's right in front of you. Like I don't know. They're like a baby. You put anything in front of a baby, they're just gonna take it. You know what I mean? It's like that. They just take it. And I don't know. It's like, yeah. So number 1 is always see how active is that piece. Is that piece posing any threat to my king or to my other pieces in any shape or form? That's something you have to think. And another thing you have to think is, what am I trading it for? Am I trading my active piece for their inactive piece? You know what I mean? Or something like that. You always remember that, to trade your inactive piece for their active piece. That's the best way to do it. You can't just trade your pieces. You can't just trade your piece, every piece, whatever is presented in front of you. That's just stupid. I see 1200s doing all the time. When I played games with them, I played a few games with them, and they just trade pieces. You just put anything in front of them, they'll take it. No hesitation whatsoever. Ooh, I got a piece, huh? Good. Oh my god, man. That's just so stupid. So I'm not going to just teach you how to trade pieces. I'm going to teach you how to trade pieces in a smart way. Knowing what piece to give for what. And, I'm just going to teach you how to trade pieces properly, in a proper manner. And, let's get right into it. Let's look up a scenario now. Okay. So, knowing when to trade pieces. This is one of the examples. So what I do is I just push the knight, knowing that he's going to take it. If he takes it, I'm going to open up my rook file, and I'm going to pin both this bishop and his knight. I'm going to win one eventually. So that's what I do. So what black should have done is not trade, because I'm not posing any threat. This knight is in the center. It's solid, yes. But what you can do is take the other knight back. Take the knight at f6 back, and then maybe put pressure on my knight with the f pawn. You can do that, or just long castle and just stay there. This is why I say 1200s, you just put something in front of them, they just take it. They're like a baby. You put anything in front of the baby, they just want to take it and try to eat it. That's what these people do. 1200s, they just do anything. I put a piece in front of them, they're like, oh, a piece, okay, what do I do? Boom, I just take it. And look, he's not even trying to take my pawn with the bishop. At least you get a pawn. Or you can just try to move something. Instead, he just allows me to choose. You know what? Pick one. Whatever you want, bro. Pick it. Is this that stupid? Look, another free pawn. He's not even guarding the pawns. Oh my god. This is just one of those examples. It's just so stupid, actually. Let me show you an example of on how to trade pieces in the smart way. Okay, so here I give a check with my queen, and once he moves the king away, I'm gonna take the bishop with my rook. Now I know that the rook is the second most powerful thing, apart from the queen, of course, the second best thing on the board. Yeah, but I'm trading the rook in this case so that I win a pawn as well, and I open up the king, where I can in the future I can just bring my rook from the f file to the b file, and I can threaten a checkmate. Now the king is completely exposed, and yeah, I eventually give a checkmate. I bring my bishop, and what he should have done is he should have just moved to a8, but then of course it's 1200, so they don't think. So yeah, I just give a checkmate, and that's it. And yeah, this is what I wanted to say, like, trade things in the smart way. You can even trade queens if you're if you know what you're doing. There are games where grandmasters like Mihal Tal or something. I'm so sorry, I don't know the name. He's a very famous chess player, Mikhail Tal. And yeah, a lot of other players, of course, like Magnus or Hikaru or whoever it is, Anish or whoever it is. Like, you see grandmasters do this all the time. They trade pieces, you know regardless of the power scaling. They just trade it if they see an opportunity. So it's a gamble, but it's worth it, I guess. So yeah, this is what I meant when I said trade pieces, but in a smart way. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. This happened with 1600, by the way. 1600 player did this. Here he took this pawn. I still don't understand why he took this pawn. Makes zero sense to me. I think he wanted to put pressure on the bishop or the knight. I don't know. And so here I threatened to win his queen, and obviously get a free bishop, because now he can't even push this, and he can't guard his bishop. So that's a free bishop for me. And here he just took my bishop. Like, why? Why would you do that? These things are just so confusing. You have to know when to trade pieces. I get that, of course, being a piece down, at 1600. I mean, you're gonna lose the game anyway, I guess. But there's still hope. Rather than losing your queen, losing your bishop is way better, I guess. So yeah, even this just happens even in 1600s. Mistake number 2 is not learning the proper openings, or any openings whatsoever. I get it. Chess is hard. Learning openings is difficult. There's just too many. Even as 1700 myself, I haven't learned a lot of openings. But what I did was I did pick a few openings for myself, like 3-4 openings which I know. I just keep spamming them. I play like 1000 games with them so that I get to know them. It's not just about learning the first 8 moves. You need to know every step of the way what you're going to do with that opening. You know what I mean? So yeah, you need to learn openings. I'm telling you. I remember when I played against a grandmaster once. I did this thing, Benko's Gambit with black, if you all know, and I learned it to the last minute just to impress him. And yeah, I knew the first 8 moves, but then after that I didn't know what to do, and I just lost. After like 10 moves after that, I lost 10 or 15 moves. Yeah. So you need to not just learn the first 5 to 8 moves. You need to learn it all the way. Okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to develop my pieces, properly? You know what I mean? In a proper structure and a manner. There, you should have an approach when you play chess, like how to make a proper opening. How to activate my pieces, how to get the center. You know what I mean? Not just expose myself. I see people moving, the stupid C pawn and like stuff for their first move. Like, why? Why would you do that? Especially as 1200, when you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, learning openings is like it's a must. You need to learn openings. regardless of what. Pick 2 or 3 simple openings, like let's say a Queen's Gambit, accepted or declined variation. And with black, you can always learn, Caro-Kann, or even French defense. Those are simple ones. I play Caro-Kann myself as 1,700. I played like 500,000 games with it. I know everything, every variation that goes with it. And you can London's English. These are all simple openings that you can do. And let's look up a few scenarios now where I show my opponent not doing proper openings, and how they lose their games like that. They get punished for that. This is why I say, learn your openings. Learn something. You can't just push the pieces and hope for the best. So here's a scenario where I played against a 1,230 guy, as you can see. So I thought he was going to play a Queen's Gambit, and then I just opened up my pieces as usual. And yeah, this does not look good. I don't know why he did that. I get that he's going to castle to the king side, so he's opening up on the queen side, pushing all the pawns in the queen side to put pressure on me. But this is such a bad way to open, because you start with the rook file. You push the rook file pawn to put pressure, and this is just a very bad move. Look at this move. What does this move do? It does nothing. It does nothing. What you should do is, in this case, push the a pawn to a4 and then try to put pressure on my queen. That's what you do. Because this knight basically does nothing. All it does is nothing. All it can do is now go back. It doesn't pose any threat to me in any shape or form. Look at this. My pawns are there. The knight has nowhere to move ahead. So all it's going to do is just either stay there or go back. Which it does eventually. It goes back. I put pressure. We trade the knights. I come in. And then he goes back. I get a free pawn. Now look at this position. Look at this position. Look at this position. I have a solid position. My pawns are pushing. My knight is there in the center with the pawn threatening. If he pushes the f pawn, I'm just going to go to g3 and, put pressure on the queen again. Or not even g3. I can just, whatever. I can come back to c5 or whatever. So yeah, basically that's the thing. He's weakening his structure. If he tries to hunt my knight, I'm just going to push back and he's going to weaken his pawn structure, and that's it. Look at this. I have a solid position. This is why I say learn your openings. Know when to push pawns. Have a proper pawn structure. There is no pawn structure for the white. This center pawn is super weak because it has no support whatsoever. So yeah, this is just one of the examples. I just want to give you this. Let's take another example. Let's take this opening for example. What is this? What is black doing? I just have a free pawn, and now I have the center solid, and I'm just going to win this pawn, and I'm going to win a rook. What is black doing? I'm just winning all of the pieces. There is no threat at all. Now look at this position. Look at this. I have 2 pass pawns on the a file, and my pieces are all active, and black is a piece down. So this is why I say learn some openings, especially in the short games like blitz or 3-minute, 5-minute games, because the opening decides everything. And also of course in rapid. Next mistake we're going to be looking at is not scanning the board and thinking ahead. Now forget thinking ahead. Forget thinking like 4 or 5 moves or whatever. Forget thinking ahead. But look around, scan the board, see what's presented in front of you, but instead, 1,200s have such a close hindsight that they only see what's right in front of them. They don't see what's around them. They see only what's in front of them. And this is like one of the main reasons why people never progress in chess, is because they don't see around. They don't observe. They don't analyze. Forget thinking ahead. Now, I'm not even talking about thinking ahead of moves or anything like strategies or whatever. That's like complex. Let's not get into that. But think for yourself. Like, think what's in front of you at least. Like, okay, this is a scenario. Okay, what's the best approach? Instead of just making random moves and, hoping for the best. This is something that I see a lot of 1200s do. And this is why you get mated in like fucking scholars mate, which is like the most basic of all mates. I mean, it's 2025, man. If you're still getting mated in scholars mate, I mean, it's time to quit chess and look for something else, I guess. And yeah, I mean, let's just look up a few scenarios where I explain further with proper examples. This is why you scan the board. You scan the board. I'm threatening a check. Yeah, I have this battery with my bishop. I'm threatening a check. Okay, but what does white do? Why? Like, what is that move doing? What white wants to do is that take my pawn somehow. That's not even a real thing because I can just take it back with my bishop and then give another check anyway. So yeah, here I give a check. I go here. Okay. So I still don't get this move. Okay. Why? Okay. And here, why would you trade? If you trade the rook, now my rook has an open file and I'm just going to give a check. If you move your knight back to defend, which obviously white does not think, of course, they wouldn't be in this situation if they actually thought, If you think before you play, you wouldn't be in the situation to begin with. So yeah, white just takes this pawn. Like, he doesn't see the checkmate. He doesn't see anything. He doesn't even try to do anything. At this point, I mean, the game is lost. You can't do anything, to be honest. If I was playing, I would just be like, resign. I'm never touching a chessboard again. Yeah? White takes this pawn. Why are you taking this pawn? What is that pawn gonna do? Oh my god. I swear I don't know what goes on in the minds of 2000s or even 1100s for that case. Let's give a checkmate. And that's it. And the fact is they still continue to play the game. They just go and continue to play another game. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This is why you should know when to trade pieces. In this position, black can just go back to f8. Simple. You're protecting the pawn and you are taking a queen out of harm's way as well. But here black decides to trade for some reason. I bet for sure black thought that was a free rook. I bet he didn't see the my queen covering the rook. I bet he didn't see that. He thought it was a free rook. He was laughing his ass off. He was like, haha, I won a free rook. Now I'm gonna win the match. Then he was like, oh shit. But yet he still continues to play. And yeah, I mean, I win the match eventually. He resigns. But yeah, it's just funny to me that 1200s are so short-sighted. They don't see what's happening around them. They just see what's right in front of them. That's the problem. Let me show you an example where even 1500s make the mistake of not scanning the board. Here I take it. I assume that I assume that he just thought I would go for the free bishop and then he can push this pawn. And when I come back to take the pawn by going to b5, he can just give me a check and then take a rook. That was his plan, I assume. Okay, I'm giving him the benefit of doubt. I'm assuming that's what he thought because that's such a brilliant, actually. That's a brilliant thing to do. Okay, because my pieces are all closed. Nothing is open. Okay, but I take the pawn. Okay, I take the pawn. I'm not giving him the chance. I just take it. Why? Why would you take the pawn? Now this is what gets me super confused. Like, why would you take the pawn? Why? Your bishop is hanging. Why would you take the pawn? Because even if you think like, okay, he's gonna take my bishop, I'm gonna move my rook to d5, d8, and try to checkmate the king. But there is no checkmate. The f pawn has already been pushed. I can just move, take cover anyway. So, protect the bishop. Why would you just let me have a free bishop when I'm already a piece up? I'm 2 pieces up now. It won't take me that long to open up my pieces again. I can just move to e4 and then start developing my bishop and my knight. I can go to h3 or something. I can just start developing anyway. That's what I do. Oh my god. Look, another free pawn. Actually, that was a free pawn. I didn't take, but it's okay. It's just so stupid, you know. Look, I'm winning this anyway. Now I have a fork. I know he's gonna push this pawns. I wait for him to push that pawn. I win it in a fork. And then now it's a fork again. Like, oh my god, man. Even 1500s, they are so stupid at times. Like I said, the thing I said earlier with the whole promoting to the queen, that was me giving him the benefit of the doubt, because I'm pretty sure if he's someone who's just giving me a free bishop and is a piece down already, I'm pretty sure that he's not that smart enough to think like, oh, I'm gonna, he's calculating like 5 moves ahead where he's like, oh, I'm gonna let him have the free bishop and I'm gonna take it with my pawn, take his pawn, and then I'm gonna give him a check and then promote to a queen. So now I have a queen and a rook and another rook, and he's just getting mated. You know what I mean? Let me even show you the move. So yeah, I'm assuming that, look, in this case, if I take it, he takes. Yeah. If I come back, he just comes back, gives me a check, and regardless of where I go with the king, he can just make a queen. And yeah, now basically, since my pieces are all not developed, it's pretty solid. Look at the evaluation. It's equal. It's almost equal. I mean, white still has an advantage, but yeah, it's equal now. Black can bring it back to their advantage. So yeah, I just want to show that move as well, if people don't know what I was talking about. As a bonus, I'm just gonna add the simple mistakes that my brain can't comprehend as to why they are doing it. They just do it, and I don't know why they're doing it. I'm pretty sure they do. No offense, but I don't know. So I'm just gonna add some clips, where I show these stupid mistakes, as to God knows why they do it. So yeah, let's this is just a fun bit. So let's just get right into them. This happened in the same game, by the way. What is this? Okay, you're coming with the pawns, which is good. You put pressure on my bishop. Now my bishop has nowhere to go, which is a good thing. Yeah. So why would you do this? What is this? What does this move do? Why? You're basically just, blocking your own bishop. What you could have done is just take the pawn at least. But I mean, your queen is there. Don't you see the queen? Why would you do that? What is this? What is this? I just get a free queen. And then he goes back. Like, what? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. This is so stupid. God damn it. This is another scenario. White gives me a check. I defend it. And white just moves here with the queen. Like, what does that do? What does that do? Does he think that my rook is still pinned to the king or something? What does that do? Oh my god, that's just so stupid. What you can do is just go to e4, man. How difficult it is to go to e4, the white square, huh? How difficult is that? Move your queen anywhere. Anywhere on the e4. Yeah, you're safe. Or you can also go back to whatever, like g3 or h2 or whatever. Just go back, do something else. Go anywhere on the e file. You're safe. Except e5, of course. Go e file. I meant the file, not the 5. Oh my god. And then I just take it. And they still continue to play. Like, why would you continue to play? So stupid. So stupid. Like, why? Like, oh my god. They just don't know what they're doing. I'm pretty sure White here thought that he had a checkmate threat or something. Like, ooh, I'm in the black square now. Ooh, I'm gonna give a mating threat. I'm gonna take this knight, and he can take this, and I'm gonna take back, and I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win the whole game, huh? No, you're not. You're just stupid. Look at this. Oh my god. So yeah, that's it, guys, for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys learned something. And if you want a part 2 or something, let me know. I'm going to be hopefully starting streams as well real soon. I'm just waiting for a laptop. I need a laptop. Yeah. Watch the video, like it, subscribe, so I can get a laptop for myself. Yeah. And yeah, so like if you enjoy the video, if you have any suggestions on what videos I should post next, let me know in the comments down below. I'll reply to every single one of them. Of course, I don't get comments, man, so of course I'm gonna reply to every single one of them. So, and yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye, take care.